We're talking painting today, folks.
Yeah, like an accomplished painter.
We've got one of the university's foremost artists in the studio, Kate Faasse. We'll get to that. Kate, member of Carolina women's soccer team, and we've talked about this on the pod. College sports seasons are long, and so one moment doesn't always make a huge difference, and sometimes we overstate it. But if Kate Faasse doesn't score 2 goals at Colorado, the women's soccer season might have been a little different. So, Kate, thanks so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about that start to the season, because there was a lot happening that whole week.
Well, it was 2 big games, and I'm really proud of the team no team is really agreeing to go across the country, especially to Colorado, where altitude is crazy compared to here, the humidity, there's a bunch of factors, but we didn't complain once. We went out there, and even though it was death out there, we pushed through, and we didn't stop fighting the entire time. And, those goals, came from a team effort. It wasn't just me. It was just I happened to be in the box, but every single person put 110% in those 2 games. And it was a long week for us.
Okay. Did I hear that Deion Sanders was, talking smack to y'all during that game?
Him and all his I think they're his sons, and he had his whole team out there.
Yeah, so what was going on?
They were talking smack out there.
What
were they saying?
Yeah.
Well, I was on the right side, so the bleachers are here, and all I just could hear was 13, you suck, 13, you suck.
Man, what's that?
And then the goals happened, and I was kind of
You would think they'd at least be a little more creative.
No, yeah, it was bad. Or your shoes untied, but that doesn't get me anymore. Freshman me, it would totally get me. Freshman me would totally look.
It was his time against Boston College.
Yeah, I used to engage. I'd be laughing. But I've gotten better. But Deion Sanders' kids were chirping.
I would have expected more from them.
Yeah, we need better than that.
More like high level trash talk.
Yeah, but it got me.
So it sounds like the altitude is a real thing.
Yes.
What physical difference did you feel?
I think it was the second day, third day. I don't remember what day it was. We were all at practice, and the first game at Denver, it wasn't bad. It was also cooler out. Didn't really feel it. Then the second or third day we were practicing, and you could just tell in all of us we were fighting demons. Everyone was dead out there, and just really trying to stay focused, because you could tell we were all feeling it. Also, you have to eat so much more and drink so much more. You're just on top of it. But third day we really felt it. And then one of my friends plays at CU Boulder, and she told me that we're supposed to get a oxygen tank. And they didn't give us that, and they didn't cut the grass when we came.
Yeah, we noticed the grass.
Yeah, she told me that they purposely did that.
It did.
Which is crazy.
It looked like a wreck field.
It was crazy. Our feet were sinking in. You played a ball from me to you, and it would stop in between. It was crazy.
And so that does make it. That legit makes a difference in soccer.
It makes a huge difference. Yeah, and they were they'd have to water the field to get at least going a little bit, but.
Well, I think oxygen might make a real difference too.
Whatever. I had
to use my inhaler every 5 minutes. I was dying.
Okay, so obviously there's been a lot going on with women's soccer here over the last month or so. Take us through from y'all's perspective when Anson decided he was out. What all happened? What was the mood on the team? Just take us through that whole process from y'all's point of view.
I don't really think any of us saw it coming. I think. We kind of one day just got a random meeting called on our off day, and we were like, what is going on? And then he had us all in there, and it was it was a really cool meeting. He just kind of went through all of his principles and everything, and reinforced those in us to carry on throughout these years where he's not going to be the head coach. And just announced his retirement. Obviously, we were all in shock. Everyone's crying, oh my gosh, it's the beginning of the season. How is this happening? But it all makes sense. He's done his time here. He's been the best. But I think he wanted, after last season, it to kind of be done. But no legend can go out on a game like that. So after we beat that pro team, he was like, okay, I can go now. But he's still at every practice, basically. So it's not really he's left. And you can still hear his voice at every practice, making the same comments. And in the first game, he's sitting right behind our bench in the bleachers, and I just remember hearing, Kate, we're not out, tuck in. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's still here. But there's really been no drop off or change really or anything. Damon's always ran our practices. He's kind of been the main, Anson's obviously the head coach, but Damon runs the show. So it really hasn't been any drop off, and Damon's amazing. The work he does for us. on and off the field he works wonders, and it really hasn't changed anything.
So Coach Dorrance, in his retirement press conference, said he thought that Damon was one of the best coaches that he had ever been around.
Yeah.
Obviously a high comment from someone like Anson Dorrance. From the player perspective, what is it? Is it his knowledge of the game? Is it the
his
scheme?
IQ
What is it?
of the game is, like, I can't comprehend sometimes the stuff. Like, he just is so tactically well-rounded. It's incredible. And he makes sure to, like, if I don't understand something or somebody doesn't understand, like, he is clipping that and showing you exactly what he means. And he makes everyone else's IQ.
Sure.
But he's just so, like, intelligent when it comes to the game.
There was a lot of turnover from last year to this year.
Yeah.
And Carolina women's soccer is something that we all just kind of assume it's always the best, and just no one ever wants to leave, and it maintains itself all the time. Why are you still here? And what was that like to go through? Because, I mean, some of those people are your friends.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of them were actually like my close little friend group, my roommates. But I'm still here because I love this place. I couldn't see myself anywhere else, even if I wanted to. I couldn't even picture myself somewhere else. I also, I didn't really play a lot freshman year. I then obviously got more sophomore year. But I wanted to prove it to myself and also to the coaches that I could be here and be this type of player. But, I mean, the culture is amazing on the team. You will never find better girls and a group of girls than our team. I've never seen girls get so close in the first day. It definitely was hard, though. Spring was really hard for me. Just, like, not having the people that have been by your side through everything. You know, I know, like, freshman year was really hard. It's always hard. Freshman, being an athlete, it's always hard for you. And having those people that you leaned on not be there for big accomplishments or big fails or bad practice is sometimes hard. But in the spring, we all really came together, and I could go out to any 11 girl that was there and tell them anything, and they would have my back. Which was a really cool moment because I was really scared. Like, when I started seeing everyone dropping, I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But then the way that group came together in the spring was something I never thought was going to happen. Like, obviously, spring was a little different, though. We weren't really playing a lot of games, and I know that put a big target on our back for this year, but I think it's made it better for us.
Did you get a sense in the fall that something was amiss culture-wise?
Like, for the players? Or
yes.
When you, like...
Did something seem off that would lead you to believe, well, there's going to be a lot of turnover?
I just think that all the girls that are here, obviously, like, are coming from being the best on your team. So everyone wants to play. And obviously no one wants to leave. It's the University of North Carolina, one of the most historical programs. So no one ever wants to leave, but everyone wants to play. Everyone comes here because they want to be professional athletes. They want, to go beyond the college level. And I think sometimes it's hard to make that choice that maybe for you to make that dream come true, you have to leave the dream place. And I think it takes one person sometimes for others to follow. And I think that is what happened. People just wanted to play and fulfill their dreams. And unfortunately, it couldn't be here. And it's sad and it sucks, but they have to do what's best for them. And I'm very proud of all of them for doing that because that takes courage. But I think that it didn't really, it didn't affect us, like, in the fall. Like, no one was talking about it. You never heard word of it, which was why it was also a big surprise. Like, I give props to the girls because they dialed in for the season, didn't say anything, and fought it out, even fought out for positions, like, kept giving 110%. And, we made it to Elite Eight, but, yeah, I don't think culture changed, but it was good.
We have always heard about the competitive nature of Carolina, and even some of your answer right there speaks to that. What does it take to be somebody who's okay being in that competitive culture?
Yeah. You got to be able to fail over and over again. Also, you need to be okay cheering on your teammates, watching somebody be in your position and being able to fully be happy for them that they are starting, playing over you, whatever. You have to be able to be that type of person off the on the field and off the field. Always having their back, always, it's hard sometimes. You're watching somebody could be the same age as you, play in the position over you,
Sure.
but you have to be able to have that in you to actually be genuinely happy for them and cheer them on. And I think that's a big part of our culture here is that we are always like, I don't think I've ever seen one girl be upset that somebody's playing over them. Everyone knows that it's well deserved, or I think that's a big thing for us is that you have to have that.
What should future college freshmen take from the Kate Faasse story where you didn't play as much as you wanted to as a freshman, and now you're sitting here scoring goals by the bushel because you were willing to be patient?
Yeah.
What's the lesson?
I mean, like you said, be patient. But for me, I think I took something away every summer, and over the summers, I put my head down and trained everything I could. But I think just believing in myself. I think freshman year, I came in, I fully believed in myself from like high school, obviously, but then the transition, everything's so much faster. I lost my confidence, and that's sometimes hard to find because you can't look for your coaches to always lift your head up every practice. You know, you have to be your like number one fan. You have to lift yourself up every day because at the end of the day, my freshman year there's 38 of us, and he can't make sure all 38 heads stay up after a bad practice. And I think that was hard for me my freshman year is like I felt like overlooked or like I wasn't like valued, but that wasn't true at all because I just slowly learned that like you have to be that person for yourself. So I think for me it was never giving up on myself. Like if you listen to me at practice, like you'll hear I am my own worst critic, but then at the end I'm always like also my number one fan. And I think that's important to remember. Just always be your number one fan and believe in yourself.
Okay, I fully understand. At the beginning of this question, I'm going to sound like an old man, and then hopefully by the end of it, I don't sound like it. Like I get that your generation of people have lived a lot of their life online. It's just been a big part of their life from the beginning. You have recently gotten a lot of attention online. Is that uncomfortable in any way, weird in any way, or do you just kind of take it and you're just like, okay, that's just part of it?
I think it's weird because I obviously didn't see anything coming. A little uncomfortable, but...
Are people weird online?
Yeah, people are weird.
Why? Okay, let's just do a PSA really fast. Just don't be weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great...
Yeah.
Like, just be a normal human being.
Exactly.
That's a great way to, like, approach.
There are some weird people, but, I mean, that comes with everything. Sure. But I've kind of, like, ignored it. I haven't... I mean, there's been a lot of opportunity from it, which is amazing. But I have yet to, like, take the next step for it just because I really do. I was coming into season. I just want to focus on season, and I want that to be my brand.
Sure. That
I'm a Carolina athlete. I think when season continues, if this still is a thing, I'd love to jump on that opportunity. You know, NIL is a huge thing right now. But it definitely was weird. But it was cool. I mean, the fact that things change overnight is crazy.
Yeah.
How do you think it makes your situation different that the Carolina brand is so big? That like the Kate Faasse brand is one thing, but Kate Faasse plus North Carolina carries some weight.
It does, yeah. I don't know, like it's hard because I haven't really like done anything with it that it's hard for me. But I do think being a Carolina athlete also adds like measure to it. You know, like I've done like a few things like with Amazon, which is like a big thing. And they
I've heard
really,
of them.
Yeah. And they are like asking me to keep promoting, which is like, I mean, freshman Kate never thought that anything like this would happen. But yeah, like I think people want like big schools like this, and especially like when there are followers behind it. Like I think the brand image of a female athlete, Carolina included, like just adds so much measure to it.
You're multiple-time academic All-ACC, correct?
Yes.
So there's that, which obviously you're doing very well. There's the whole business aspect, and there's soccer.
Mm-hmm.
How do you navigate what amount of time to proportion to each one of those things?
It's not that hard. I mean...
For you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a grind. Every day after practice, it's a loop, honestly. I like to say that we live in a loop. We eat, sleep, soccer, school, repeat, like every day, all day. Sometimes it gets draining, I'll say. Like the loop isn't a great word to put it as, but it is. It's a constant loop. Managing it, though, sometimes I do get behind, I will say. Like, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I had this because I'm tired from practice. But it's not that. I feel like as long as you put, like, I have to put school before soccer just so that I remember, honestly. But it's not as hard. I mean, it is. I don't even know how to word it. It's not that hard, but it is.
It's not that hard for Kate Faasse. It might be hard for somebody like you, Adam.
But I also...
when you were an elite athlete, it may have been hard.
Okay. I'm a communications major, so I'm a talker, so I find that easy for myself.
People trying to come take our jobs.
Yeah. When the Kate Faasse, JJ Jones podcast debuts, we're out.
We're out. We're
So I also think that plays a big part in it, is where people are studying for big tests. I'm studying for a speech that comes easy to me, or to go talk in front of people, which comes easy to me. So I think there's that varies too. Like my roommate, she's applying for the B school, and she's like one of the smartest people I know, and she's constantly busy. Like it's hard for her to manage. So I know both sides, but I think for me, I'm also doing something that I love, so it's a little bit easier.
Sure.
I think sometimes school is a job, but I like what I'm doing at school, so it's not so much a job for me.
Are you ever on the field and the ball goes to the other side of the field or something, and you're like, I got to write that paper?
At practice all the time today. Literally, I was like, oh my gosh, I have lingual learning tonight.
I got to do that podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Does your communication ability help you in soccer, you think?
Probably. I mean, I'm a big talker. I'm a big talker on the field, off the field, anywhere. I am very social, very big talker. I think soccer probably helps communications in school because you have to be that voice, leader. I think that helps in academics.
All right, tell us about your painting.
Oh gosh.
All right,
so scratch this painting thing.
Just a little quick background. We were just doing our due diligence. We checked out Kate's bio. It said that she loved to paint. But Kate, this isn't quite accurate. Is that right?
No. It was after COVID and COVID free time I was painting, but I had to mention that it was paint by numbers, not free painting. So it's a lie. I'm not a painter.
It's very satisfying.
It is, but it's really easy. So I can't identify myself as a painter if I'm filling in the lines.
Sure.
Yeah, but you think soccer is really easy.
Yeah.
Okay, true.
Soccer by numbers.
No, soccer's not easy.
All right, what's working for this team? You guys are obviously playing very well. I think it's 3 straight shutouts. As of the time of this recording, Carolina's facing Duke between the time that we're going to talk to Kate and this airs.
And they're going to come out with a massive dub.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Look at that. What is working right now with this group? What do you like about what y'all are doing?
I think everybody new and returning is really receptive. We're able to share anything with each other, meaning on the field. If obviously we're in a rebuild year, so there's a lot of work to still be done, but everyone is open to new ideas and learning from each other. And like for me, I'm a junior now, and I have a freshman center back. I'm listening to everything she's telling me and respecting everything she's saying to me and doing whatever she's telling me, and vice versa. I think that's hard because sometimes as a freshman, it's scary. You don't want to be the one screaming at your scary elders out there, and who knows how sometimes, you hear something you kind of like are like, oh, okay. And that can get like played different, like she's like, oh shoot, I can't say that to her. But everyone has been so on top of it and so receptive and like giving 110% in everything. Like today, it's 2 days out from the game, it's Duke, we're all running sprint runs and everyone's going 110% constantly. Also just everyone's attitude has been amazing. Like, it's been scary. Like, I've been so scared coming into it. I obviously had faith, but it's been scary. Like, you never know. But everyone believes in each other, and this group is so connected. I like to reference back to my freshman year. The group I played with, my 2022 team, was like blood, it felt like. We were bonded at the hip. We went to the national championship.
Got cheated out of a championship.
Yeah, seriously. Should be a national champion. But I can see us in that group. And that is something that I think will take us further than, I feel like some teams have, it looks like they're like the all-star team, but sometimes that doesn't work better than the team that is connected and has that culture. And I think we have that culture and that connection that will take us to the next step and hopefully to the national championship. But
Carolina women's soccer doesn't get to be the underdog very often.
No.
What have you liked about it? Feels like this team kind of enjoys proving people wrong a little bit.
Exactly. We do. We love it. It puts a big chip on our shoulder. It gives us a little extra dig at every game. Obviously, we want to win regardless, but having people look down on us, like, we're here to prove you guys wrong. But also, like, it also has put a big chip on, for people, it's put on our backs. People want it more. They want to keep proving us that we're not the Carolina team that we used to be, which fuels our fire. Like, please, these last 2 games, they're dropping all 11, and respectfully, I probably would too if you're playing North Carolina. But people just want to tie us. They want to see us level with them, but we are not backing down this year. And I'm really proud of us too, because last year we tied 11 games. This year we fought it through and through. Like, there's been we're not tying this year. We're taking the win every time.